This is a Whirlpool top-load wash machine with a stainless steel tub. I got this from a lady who said that it would not drain properly. She said it would wash the clothes, run through all the cycles, and at the end the clothes would come out wet. From what she described, I think there could be one of two things possibly causing this. One is there could be a problem with the drive hub, which would affect the spin cycle and proper draining. The other problem could be related to the pump and drain system, like a kink in one of the hoses, a sock, or something causing a clog, or possibly the pump's going bad. Let's check out the pump and drain system first and see if we can find the problem and put this wash machine back into service. Let's do it! The first thing you want to do is unplug it, disconnect your hot and cold water lines and the drain hose. And now we can go ahead and tip it so we can look at the pump. Now here's our pump here. I'm going to disconnect this drain line, and I'm also going to disconnect the line that goes to the back of the panel to make sure both these lines are clear. There's no obstruction in that. Then I'm going to take these 5/16 screws out and I can pull the pump off. First thing I'm going to do is disconnect this drain hose. I want to make sure these are all clear. And I'm going to take the pump off and check that. So just move this clamp back. And disconnect the clamp here. And now we can pull this hose off. Release there. And I also want to disconnect this hose here. Okay, before we go any further on this, I want to check and make sure that the pump is okay. And the way that we test this is to disconnect the wire from this. There's a little clip here you just push in, and then you can pull this straight off. You can see there's two probe connections on there, and there's two plates in there that these plug into. What I want to do is take my multimeter, and these are real inexpensive. You can get this cheap one at Harbor Freight for around $5. Sometimes they give them away for free. And we want to set it to ohms, 20,000 ohms. That's that horseshoe on your multimeter. We'll turn it on, and when a wire or anything you're testing is good, you get a complete connection. And you should get a reading of 0 or close to it. See, I'm touching the two probes together. You get a reading of 0 or close to it. So what I'm going to do is stick one probe on one blade and the other probe on the other, and we should get a reading of 0 or close to it if the pump is good. And we do. So we know the pump's not the problem. Now let's pull the pump off and check the hoses and the pump for a clog or maybe a broken blade in the pump. Now there's 3 5/16 screws. I'm going to pull those out and we can remove the pump. You can use a socket. I've got a nut driver. It's a little quicker for me. And that removes our pump. Now the first thing I'm going to check before I go any further, and the most common problem would be the possibility of a clogged hose. So I'm just going to take some water, run through there. And that one's free. Dirty, but free. There's 3 screws, 1, 2, 3, that hold this cap onto the base. I'll take that apart and we'll check it out. And of course, you can just order a pump. Just put your model number in, and these pumps aren't cheap though. There we go. Let me clean this up. We'll check it out closer. I don't want to get this motor wet, so I'm going to keep this part out of the water, the white part. But I want to clean this out. But that seems beautiful. The pump seems nice. Now your pump might not turn this free. Might be all jammed up, and if that's the case, you'll have to order a new pump. Or if the impeller's busted, then you'll have to order a new pump. But this seems like new. Spins real free and easy. I think we're good. Put her back together. Perfect. And I'll put screws back in. Now this is all plastic, so actually I like to go counterclockwise. You hear all that clicks? And then you know you got it started right. Here we go. All right. Got her all put back together. I don't see any reason why this pump wouldn't work. Let's reinstall it, test it out, and see how she does. And now we can reassemble it. It's exactly the opposite of taking it apart. Beautiful. And I like to be real careful putting these back in, that I don't strip the plastic, so go counterclockwise till you hear the click. There it is. And now I can screw it in. Good. Just go till you bottom out. And on the hose, it says clamp. So the clamp goes right in here. You can't miss it. It says right where to put it. And our other little guy, put this on first. And then just push this on. Beautiful. And we'll plug this back in. Good. Let's flip it over, hook it up, and test it out. Now I'm just doing this outside because I don't need to take it in and hook it up, but you want to make sure to hook up your drain line, your hot and cold water line. I'm going to hook up the cold with my hose just to test it out here. Turn the water on and plug it in. All right, I set it to quick wash, tap cold, extra light, 1 rinse, just for testing. Sensing's on, started filling. And here we are on the final drain and spin. And we're done. So if you have a problem with your pump, need to replace your pump, or maybe a line's kinked or clogged, you'll know how to fix it. If this does not fix your problem and your clothes still come out wet, check out my video on how to replace a drive hub on your wash machine. If this video was a help to you, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing. And I look forward to helping you with other projects online.